What's up, guys? The conversation that you're about to watch or listen to is with my buddy Richard Janvin. You probably know him from the True Shot reaction channel. Now he does solo reactions on YouTube. And we went through some unpopular opinions that were taken from my Discord users, including things like Spiritbox is dog shit boring, New Sleep Token is meh, Trivium is really overrated, Slipknot's influence is better than their actual music, YouTube reactors only react to popular videos for views and ad revenue. So man, that's an hour-long conversation, so there's timestamps if you want to get to your specific unpopular opinion or a hot take. But Richard and I had a really good time digging deep into these. So sit back, relax, grab a drink, and come join us for this long conversation. But I think that's all we need for chit chat. So let's fucking do it. So guys, let's go through it. So let's go through the first unpopular opinion. You ready, Rich?
Okay, let's hear this. Because now listen, I'm not going to go easy on these people either. I mean, if there's a bad opinion, I'm going to let them have it.
All right. I'll let you take the reins on this one then.
Oh boy.
Boom. New Sleep Token is meh.
Listen, I get why people don't like it, but here's the thing with this opinion that bothers me. You got to elaborate. I hate it when people have an opinion and they say, I don't like this, and then they just say, you got to expand upon that. Or if you like something, expand upon it. If you just put it's meh, like, what good is that? I mean, okay, sure. I want some conviction behind these opinions, Andromeda. Okay, that's ridiculous. To me, I like it though. Like, I thought it was cool. It was definitely outside of my typical box that I listen to for music. But I mean, Vessel, that voice. I mean, listen, you can't not like that voice.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I actually watched your album review because I'm a patron, man. Which I don't think you're a patron on my.
I am. I have been longer than you've been on mine, so don't pull that.
Oh, okay.
Metalbirb. We pretty much just exchange $5 every month.
It's true. I know. It's so true. Okay, so my opinion on this, it's a spoiler for my album review as well, but I actually thought the new album was pretty meh. I was very shocked and slightly disappointed with that because I jumped on Sleep Token super early on with like Truant. You know Truant, right? We've talked about him before.
Of course. I mean, he's the OG.
He's literally the OG. And he reacted to Jaws. And I remember just being blown away by this track. The song only had 6,000 views. I'm like, holy shit. So as soon as like, I started doing YouTube videos. I did Nazareth with METALBIRB and stuff. And then, I don't know, like, so I've been listening to her music for a while. So when the new album came along, it just felt like the same old recycled stuff. Like, I would say the new album is a lot better and like it's much more cohesive. I feel like the tone of the album start to finish works a lot better, but the songs itself is a little bit lackluster. And but yeah, no, like there's Hypnosis or whatever is pretty cool. Like there's some good songs, but nothing really blows me away like from stuff from Sundowning or their earlier albums. Like I find it kind of meh as well.
Yeah, and again, I could see why. I think that the style that Sleep Token goes for is one that is going to be interesting as we get deeper into their career, how they're going to be able to keep it kind of fresh. Because it's one of those styles that's kind of like, okay, we've heard it. How many times can you do this before it gets meh? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the whole like starts off slow, builds up to this crescendo at the end kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's so sick the first couple times you hear it, but then like, I don't know, after like 1,000 times, it kind of gets a little old. Like it's still cool. Right. Like it's still good music, and it's like some of the best music in the scene right now because it's so different. But it's just being overcritical because like I'd still take New Sleep Token over so many other bands I listen to, but I do find the new albums like I don't know.
Yeah,
but you gave it like a 9 out of 10 or something.
Yeah, I get. So here's the thing, right? I know that I'm known for like the heavy stuff, but man, when you can speak to my heart with that angelic voice, I don't know, it does something to me because I'm like that guy who will listen to a mirror, but then at night I'll be up till 3 a.m. watching the voice auditions. This is who I am, man. So Sleep Token kind of has that effect on me.
Dude, I had no idea. I was so shocked that you like Sleep Token because I thought you just wanted like breakdowns and breeze and stuff.
Yeah, I do like the breakdown. That's one thing I will say about Sleep Token. I wish they were a little bit heavier, like because especially like Alkaline, when they got super genty in that track. But I liked Fall for Me, or I think that's the name. I think that's the name of the track, right? or Fall for
the
You.
one that's like, what you say, like that
Yeah,
a
yeah.
cappella
It's like
track.
2 minutes
Really?
long. I love that song. Yeah.
It's not bad. I don't mind it, but yeah, I don't know. There's definitely mixed opinions on that. It's kind of, I was, when I said that in my review, I'm like, oh man, people are going to be heated. But I was actually surprised by how many people actually agreed with me and had their own opinion that was like, yeah, it was okay.
All right.
All right, let's move on to unpopular opinion 2. Trivium is really overrated.
Well, see, here's the thing. Trivium to me, I'm definitely one of those guys that I love the old stuff. Ascendancy, even In Waves. I love In Waves. To me, they kind of have that Lamb of God effect where they have their sound. Like it's very discernible. They have their sound. I wouldn't say that they're overrated. They have their sound and they've kind of been doing a variation of it for a while. I will say though, that album, The Silence in the Snow or whatever, well, I thought that was terrible. I'll say that. But the rest of it, I feel like if you don't like one of their albums, like if you listen to a Trivium album and you don't like it, you're probably not going to like the rest of their stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree. Have you heard In the Court of the Dragon yet?
I have not heard it yet.
Oh, it's sick. It's so sick.
I know I got to listen. Well, the problem is, right, is like I go to, one, just busy with live stuff, right? But then like I go to look at the track, like the runtime, and I'm like, oh my God, it's almost an hour long. Jesus Christ, man. Holy smokes. And I need it to be like a half an hour. You know what I mean? That's kind of who I am.
Dude, I know these album reactions take up a lot of time. That's why they're on Patreon, right? And besides, they get blocked on YouTube regardless.
Oh yeah, immediately.
Yeah, but like when I see an album like a prog album that's like an hour and 30 minutes, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to like record at least 2 hours and a half of footage. I have to go through that footage and stuff. Dawn of DT!
You do it a lot more sophisticated than me. I literally press record and then I just do no edits. I just upload the entire thing raw.
I think I need to start doing that, man. It's all about like quantity over quality lately on YouTube.
Yeah, it's truly what it's come down to.
Oh yeah, so like my opinion on this is that I don't really think Trivium is overrated. They are huge, but I think they kind of deserve the success. Like look at Matt Heafy, man. He's like one of the biggest Twitch stars.
Yeah.
And like he works so hard. Trivium's music, to my knowledge, has constantly been good. Like I'm kind of new to the Trivium bandwagon. I've been listening to like the odd song here and there because like I had buddies growing up that dig them, but I never personally got into them. But they've been always like consistently good. I think there's some albums that are a little bit mixed, but I don't know. Like the fact that I personally don't even like it when people call bands overrated in metal.
I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, like metal is already so like kind of niche, and it's just I think a lot of people get shocked when a certain band does a lot better than other bands that are doing something a little bit, I don't know, I guess better, but better subjective, right? I think Trivium is also has a good mix. I think I said this in my album review, but Trivium has a good mix of like easy kind of like, it's like beginner kind of like metal to like intermediate. Some of their guitar riffs and stuff, like you can like pick up a guitar and like try learning it for a beginner guitarist, but then they get like crazy intermediate. So they kind of like and also they mix in like prog and thrash and even core music. Like I think that's why they're so massive, because they kind of hit so many different subgenres of metal, and like I don't know, a lot of people can like fancy it because depending on their style, right? So I think they're very like clever for being as big as they are. I think they deserve it. But all right, unpopular. Hold up, let's make it sound cooler. Unpopular opinion 3. Dude, this thing's so sick. I love it. All right, unpopular opinion 3. Oh, this is a long one. Okay, so this one. So look, Dank is a great guy. He's on the Discord. They're all from the Discord, but he says, Nico, the dude behind Until We Die, Wire Crusher, I don't know, Iconic, Rentamorphous, and mixing vocals and Left to Drown is the best musician out there at the moment. So, when it's a little bit more niche, I'm not going to kind of like elaborate it, but he did have an original unpopular opinion, which was his first take was Spiritbox is dog shit boring. It's reason for the reactions. So that's the main one that I want to talk about. So Spiritbox is not just boring. They're dog shit boring.
Dog shit boring. Well, I mean, well, I listen. I'm not going to take music advice or opinions from a guy who named this dude Nico as the best musician out there. I don't even know what one of those projects are. So if he's going to say that that guy's the best musician ever, and then turn around and call Spiritbox, who was on tour with Limp Bizkit, boring dog shit. Bro, listen, you might want to go back into the woods with a black metal band and burn down a few churches because, listen, you're dead wrong on this. Your dude, Nico, listen, he could be the most talented guy, whatever. He's not making a dime, I bet you that. Spiritbox making lots of money.
Dude, you're so heated. I love it. All right. So Spiritbox, calling something boring is just, it's subjective, right? What's boring? Like, I don't know. You say one band's boring, I can find something else that you say is boring, right? I think a better one would be like Spiritbox is like overrated. I've seen that a lot. And that's the same argument that I'd say about the last thing, where like they deserve the success because they've been grinding, and also their music kind of hits like a certain demographic where it's like pop and also heavy, so it's a little bit more of a mass appeal. I do think that since it's Courtney, there's a female fronted vocalist. I do think that actually sells really well. I think that helps their advantage because I think a lot of women actually resonate with that. Like METALBIRB, for example, absolutely loves Spiritbox, and they're obsessed with like Courtney, right? They find her so cool. There's not enough like female leaders in metal, really.
Sure, yeah, and it's what you just said. Courtney, like, obviously there is the factor of Courtney, you know, being a woman fronting a band that is, you know, in the grand scheme of metal, that's pretty rare. But Courtney is, one, extremely talented, and two, has charisma out the wazoo. So that really helps. And I think that that's what really draws a lot of people to Spiritbox is just the aura and the allure of Spiritbox. And then the music is also good.
Oh yeah, the music's also good, and yeah, calling it boring, that's subjective. Like for me, I think their music is a little bit refreshing. It sounds new and hold up, President Nathan. It sounds a little bit new for the scene where, you know, their early stuff was a little bit more proggy, and I totally love them for that. They kind of went into a more pop gent approach, a little bit more accessible with the new album. Yeah. So a lot of people are kind of finding it a little bit iffy. I still think the new album's really solid, but I can definitely agree where people are like, oh, like it's not as good as their old stuff. I can kind of see that, but like, I don't think it's boring. There's a reason why they're blowing up. Their music hits a specific spot for a lot of people that we haven't heard in metal in a long time. And also I think there's genuine chemistry between, you know, Mike and Courtney. They're married. And I think that's why their music just seems to kind of like, I don't know. It's very like cohesive, and they work off each other really well. And I feel like you could just tell it in the music. It's hard to explain unless you actually listen to it, but it just seems, I don't know, natural and experience, right?
But is it as cohesive as Whore Crusher? Is it as cohesive as that band or whatever the hell that is?
Dude, I don't know, but there is one thing to say about Dank. He has great taste in music. He definitely knows his shit. He shows me tons of cool bands on Twitch. And Until We Die, I know them. They're pretty sick. Whore Crusher, I've heard one song from them. I kind of forget it already. I need a couple more listens. But yeah.
I'll take your word for it. But Dank, you're wrong here, buddy. I'm just being honest.
It is a good opinion, though. A lot of people actually share that opinion. People get tired of all the Spiritbox love on the internet.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic we could talk about, but I don't really understand. I think that is so like just silly, especially for a genre such as metal, where you would want that to be resonating throughout everywhere, but some people are like, they apparently want musicians to make $0 forever. So that is what it is, I guess.
It's so weird. There's something about the starving artist that it seems so appealing in metal. It's like they like it when there's like struggle and people are like working, but when a band gets successful and starts making money, it's just like, ooh, they're sellouts kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about the cars racing in the background there.
No, that's okay. Like whenever I'm on like World of Warcraft with Nick, I hear them racing out there too. So
yeah, we're neighbors, right?
Yeah, you guys got a racetrack outside of your house.
All right, ready for the next one?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Unpopular opinion number 4. All right. Oop, shit, still on. Tundra says, Polyphia are the most innovative artists we've seen in music across all genres in the past 5 years.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to take this?
All right, so I think Polyphia is a little bit out of your wheelhouse because they're a little bit more proggy. But okay, so I don't really know how to combat this one because I'm trying to think of who else is innovative. Polyphia, I do think are up there. I think they're up there in terms of their influence with Tim's guitar playing. It's that clean / almost distorted guitar tone with like a little bit of trap beats that seems to be like, I don't know, working its way into so many bands that I'm hearing lately. I don't know if it's like the most innovative, but it's definitely one of the biggest movements. I noticed in the Discord when they were talking, they brought up Animals as Leaders. I think Animals as Leaders was one of the most innovative. I don't know about any more. And then Polyphia kind of took that spot. It's kind of hard to say. Like in the prog math rock genre, maybe they're like the most innovative for sure. But when it comes to core music, that's a little bit different. So it depends on what scene you're kind of talking about. Like, are we just talking about prog? Because yeah, I probably agree with that. But if we're talking about core music, like deathcore, metalcore, I don't know. Like Loathe was pretty influential. North Lane's Alien was pretty influential. Now a lot of bands seem to be doing a lot of electronics in their music, even though Linkin Park kind of did that. I don't know. It's tough. Like, there's a lot of bands, right?
Yeah. So, well, number one, who is it? Tim Henson? Isn't that the guy who made the Muppets? Is that him? Tim Henson? Didn't he create the Muppets?
I don't know. Do I watch the Muppets?
I don't know. Do you? Jim Henson. I was hoping that joke would fly. But anyway, listen, man. Again, like you said, Polyphia is not my thing at all. Like it just doesn't do anything. Instrumental stuff. I mean, it's cool for like 2 minutes, and then I'm like, okay. And I don't know, like innovative how? Because go ahead.
No, you're good.
All right. Yeah, so like they're innovative, I guess, maybe in the context of a guitar, but a guitar is not an innovative instrument. It's been around forever, you know? But, it's like, go ahead.
Well, what can you do with a guitar anymore? Like, I feel like but that's where Polyphia, his guitar style is so different. It's hard to explain unless you play guitar.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? I'm a caveman. You have to understand this. So, I mean, he could be Tim Henson could walk to my door right now and play guitar, and I would just be like, get out of here. You know, like it wouldn't do anything for me. So I can't appreciate it. I just, dude, like that stuff I just can't do it. I just can't.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
I love that. I'm going to clip that and then tag Tim Henson.
Oh my God. Tim, I'm sorry. I know that your grandfather created the Muppets. I'm sorry.
All right. That was good. Let's move on to unpopular opinion number 5. All right. So we kind of touched on this a little bit, but Erra is better than Eternal Blue.
Am I starting this one?
Yeah, I started the last one, so let's hear you.
Well, see, here's the thing, right? So patreon.com/RichardJammer, you can go over and look at all my album reactions, including from both Erra and Spiritbox. And I rated Spiritbox a little bit higher. Listen, Erra, I like it. JT is a buddy of mine, so this is going to be tough to say, but I do prefer Spiritbox. I prefer Spiritbox. Erra, like, they get a little wonky sometimes with the guitars for me. The songs kind of go for a little while. So I think that really comes down to if you're more into like the proggier stuff versus kind of the more straightforward. And I'm not saying that Erra's doesn't have hooks, but Spiritbox is obviously more pop structurally with the hooks. But then Erra, like, I don't know, like they have a handful of songs that I really like, whereas Spiritbox I like just more songs. So I would disagree, but it's not that far away because I think I gave Spiritbox like a 90 or a 91%, and I think I gave Erra like an 88. So it's close.
I agree. It's not that far away. They're both good albums in their own context, right? A lot of people don't like Eternal Blue. They found it overhyped and stuff, and I can kind of see where they're coming from. I thought it was a solid album because I thought all songs were good. Like, there's some that are definitely better than others. I did find that the pre-singles are better than the actual like new songs, like nothing topped Holy Roller or Constance on the album. But with Erra was a tricky one, man. As everyone, well, most people know, is like I couldn't get into Erra, but I've tried. Even before I started my channel, I've listened to them like countless times, and something about their music just wasn't clicking with me. I thought their riffs were just nonsense. Sure, they're intricate, their musicianship is insane, but nothing really sticks. Anyone can write noodles on guitar. Like I know Jesse Cash is incredible.
Yeah, like Tim Henson. Yeah, like Tim Henson.
I'd argue Tim Henson can write some cool passages though. Okay. But no. So Jesse definitely, not to take away from his guitar playing, because his guitar playing is amazing, and I totally think that in the new album, like what song has that super intricate riff, like Electric
Twilight? Yeah.
Oh, dude, that riff, one of the best riffs of the year.
Yeah,
like,
I love
3.
that riff.
It's so
I don't even like
so
riffs.
Cool.
I don't even like riffs, but I like that riff.
You don't like riffs?
Not really.
Oh, dude, that's what metal's about, man. I'm shocked. I love me some riffs.
Dude, I'm a breakdown boy. Give me the top string. That's all I need.
Yeah.
It could be a 9-string guitar with 1 string, and I'm good.
Just zeros all day.
Yep.
Well, okay, the thing about Erra is I'd argue that Erra's album is consistently better from start to finish though than Spiritbox. Spiritbox kind of goes like highs and lows. There's nice balance between soft songs and heavy songs, but Erra kind of stays in that the pacing from Snowblood to oh shit, what's track 2? Already forget. Gungrave, and then moves on to Disarray or whatever. I just feel like the flow from each song works so well in terms of pacing, because like when I reviewed the album, I'm like, yeah, this is good, but I feel like I had lots of cons and stuff, but then I'm like, I didn't feel good about my album review, so I started listening to it like from start to finish in my own time. I went for a car ride and it just clicked. I was like driving, I'm like, holy shit, from one song to another, I'm like, this album is so good. And like I can barely say that about albums because I'm a little bit pickier when it comes to albums. Like the songs all have to kind of fit together. If they just put a bunch of random singles on, like it's a little bit different. Albums need to have a consistent pace and flow, blah 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 blah. And I feel like Erra knocked it out of the park with that one. I think it's better than Eternal Blue in that regard. But yeah.
I guess for me, where it really differs is just I think that Spiritbox, I think they do a better job with the hooks, and that's really another element of music that draws me in versus kind of the more progressive or riffy side of things. However, Electric Twilight, that riff, I love that riff. But then again, I love Silk in the Strings, that riff. So yeah.
Dude, yeah, that riff is money in Silk in the Strings.
Yep.
All right. Moving on to unpopular opinion number 6 in Step Bro Nuggets. Pee poo poo takes, he says.
Unbelievable.
Okay, this is a good one. Hold up, let me make sure that the images go all wacky here on Streamlabs. Okay, so Grim says, most modern metalcore is boring and uninspired. Most songs are predictable, and it was way more unique in 2000s and 2010s.
You want to go first?
I agree with him. I think, definitely metalcore was at its peak then because it was the most commercially successful. That's number one. But artistically, there were so many different bands, and like, I don't know, we Azalea Dying, Killswitch Engage, that we got the big bands, and then we also got like some mathcore bands, Dillinger Escape Plan, even though they started kind of 1999. But like, Architects started then too. We got the emo scene. Bless the Fall, Escape the Fate as well. There were so many different avenues. Like it was so many different bands, and like you had the emo kids, like the death metal kids that were like deathcore kids, and like the metal people who were like Lamb of God and shit. Like there was so many different avenues, and now it's a lot more gent focus, and it's just I feel like it's pretty much 7-string, 8-string. Let's see how low we can get. It is a lot more uninspired than how it was before, but I do think that 2010s to 2020s, that's decade was the weakest. That bands were just over relying on pop choruses, and that's when the punk goes pop stuff started taking off, and I just felt like I don't care about metalcore anymore. That's when I lost interest. But like I would say the past like 3 years, metalcore is like getting a lot better, man. It continues to get better.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. I think where he puts the 2010s, I think right towards the tail end of that, that's when we really started getting that Joey Sturgis type of core, where it was like a super polished sound and like very modern for then. And I think that sound was replicated a lot for, from like those earlier like Asking Alexandria or Devil Wears Prada, those types of bands. And I think that a lot of people use that formula, and that kind of propelled in like a wave of metalcore for a while there. And yeah, it did kind of get a little bit stagnant. But then, yeah, like you said, more recently, it's been kind of getting on the uptick. And I think that because we're starting to see bands infuse styles such as like trap and stuff like that in there, where you can be low tuned and heavy and whatnot. But for me, especially like, like writing music and having been in a band and all that kind of stuff, the thing that I really think about a lot is like, what can you add to this song that so it's not just guitar music? You need to have a soundscape associated with it that really elevates the sound and makes it different and more discernible from just the rest of the riffy pop chorusy songs. So, and I think that that's happening more recently. So I would tend to agree with this.
I tend to agree, but there is a change. I agree with that too. How do you not listen to prog? I'm surprised that you don't like prog, because that's my favorite thing about prog music, is that it takes so many different elements from any genre of music, throws it in, so you never know what you're getting. It's like, I don't know, it's fun. It's surprising.
The problem with prog is that it takes so many minutes to get through a song. Like, that's the problem. It's like, you gotta, yeah, and that's the thing for me is like, I mean, there's been a couple of exceptions, but you really need to keep me, because I am definitely the ADD listener. So I'm that's who I am. Yeah.
Some bands overkill it. Even like my favorite prog band, one of my favorites, BT Bam. Like, they sometimes like need to trim down their music a bit. So I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see here. Let's move on to
what's next.
Unpopular opinion number 7. But I feel like we kind of touched on this already. Core in general is dying to oversaturation of boring and uninspired breakdowns. No, that's a little bit new. You're a breakdown boy. Let's hear.
Well, so this is what I find very interesting, is that a lot of people love the new Phineas record. Like, they love it. Like, this is metalcore album of the year. And obviously, I don't know if this person agrees with that notion, but to me, that album was boring. Like, that to me, like, all the breakdowns sounded the exact same, every single breakdown. But anyway, it's dying due to oversaturation of boring, uninspired breakdowns. I would actually, I don't know, like, that's an interesting notion there. I don't know if it's the breakdowns. I think that in my opinion, there is kind of like these two diverging roads when it comes to core, and it's kind of going the more hooky route, and then also kind of going into pissed core, like, and I think that that's kind of where the roads are diverging now. I don't know. I guess I'm not, for me, like, I'm not too hard to please when it comes to a breakdown. As long as it's not one song after another, the breakdowns sound the same. I love a good breakdown, but I also love a lot of songs being packaged in the form of a breakdown, like just one big breakdown. So I don't know. I just, when like with core is dying, I mean, I disagree, and that kind of goes back to what we were just talking about, where I feel like it's kind of on the uptick as of recently. But again, core in general is a niche genre as it is. So,
yeah, I'd agree that I don't think core is dying, and mainly I'm basing that off, like, look at Spiritbox, number 14 on Billboards, right? That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge.
I think core is picking up a little bit, and call me crazy, but I think reaction channels are playing a part in that. I don't know if that's ego. Just
it was ever since I started doing them. I noticed. I'm kidding. But I definitely think reaction channels definitely do play a role in it. For sure. I think that, like, the thing about reaction channels is, like, when you can get a community of people all being hyped about something like that, the overall hype, the collective hype always goes up, and I think that it does help, especially like. I'm not saying that reaction channels made any kind of band big or whatever, but yeah, I mean, we saw, especially like with Holy Roller, when that song came out, like the reaction community reacted to it, and like I'm sure that you can go to your analytics right now, and I'm sure that was probably ranked 1 out of 10. You know, so.
People have said that Spiritbox got bigger because of reaction channels. Like, those aren't my words. I saw it on Finn McKenty's video about Spiritbox, and people were like, I saw like 4 comments saying like reaction channels. I would argue that reaction channels actually helped Spiritbox, you know, get a little bit bigger, as many other things too. But like one of the, you know, parts of it was reaction channels. And like the thing why I'm saying that too is because like I try like doing the odd different song here and there that's not metal. So I like, for example, Coldplay. I did Coldplay on my channel, right?
That was a weird one. That was out of left field, but I you know, it's cool.
That song was awesome. I love that song. But the thing is, like, there was hardly any other reaction videos for that Coldplay song. And then there's I don't know, people don't care. And unless it's like pop, there's some popular pop reactions, and same with old classic rock songs. But it's also metal. Like, you don't even see the same thing in dubstep. Like, there's a big market for reaction videos for metal music. I don't know why it is, because we're all gravitating online because we don't have people in person. And then also, like, breakdowns make for exciting reactions.
I think the reason why is, I think, you know, there's definitely a more passionate fan base with metal. And I feel like with like a rap or a hip hop or whatever, a lot of those artists are kind of here today, gone tomorrow. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. You know, they're very popular in terms of streams and whatnot. But like those guys live, like, if you ever seen a rapper live, it's fucking garbage. I mean, like, it's not good. Like, it's almost the exact opposite with metal, where like, you know, live they can be great, and like the recordings you might not like. Like, for a perfect example for that for me is Crystal Lake. Like, the recordings I can't really get into it, but live they're a whole different animal.
My god, they're insane live.
They're insane live. Yeah, but so I think that's why I think the reaction channels, everybody wants to, and I think that there is definitely a psychology where it's like we're already in like this niche space as it is. So when you can find somebody else who is also enjoying the music as much as you do, that's really cool, because you're like, hey, I'm not the only one in my town. You know, that this guy on YouTube also likes it too.
Yeah, exactly. I find it kind of weird. How about let's take a little break and read the comments here.
Yeah.
Signapple says, I'd say it's also a group of reactors that are fish out of water with metal. So you'll grab rap fans and blow their face off with metal and they become fans. Views aplenty. Yeah, no, that's true too. I feel like Nick helps the metal community a lot. He gained famous guitarists on his streams now. Oh, Nick has done massive things for the metal scene, of course. And then other people sign. I think Knock Loose just saved metalcore today. Those breakdowns were amazing. Yeah, I don't know about save metalcore, but that EP was fucking sick. You got to react to it, man.
I got to listen to it.
Yeah,
but I'll be busy the next few days, so I can't check it out.
That's got to be high priority. That's like right up your alley. Do you like Knock Loose's vocals?
Oh, I love Brian's vocals. I know a lot of people hate him, but because you know why? It's because I identify with him, because I'm a guy who gets a lot of shit for my vocals. So like it's like a camaraderie, you know. I'm like, Brian, listen, man, I got you. I know that everybody shits on you. They shit on me too.
Dude, I said the same thing about you and him in my Knock Loose video, where I said like they're unique. They're unique. You can't say that about many other vocals. Like the pitch is different. For that alone, it stands out. Orion Reacts is hosting with 15 viewers. Thank you, bro. Look, it's a whole reaction community. We have a great unpopular opinion that talks about reactors. I should get that for Orion here. But okay, let's move on to, let's go in order. So let's go to unpopular opinion 8. All right, so this is just like a biased opinion, but we both like this band. So hot take. Silent Planet is the best metalcore band of the last decade.
Best metalcore band of the last decade. I mean, I can't name any that I would deem better, but like, I don't, to say that they're the best, I would say no, but like, I'm not going to be here and be like Killer's mentality. Like, that's a stupid mentality. No, but like, I Silent Planet, I love Silent Planet, man. I love Silent Planet. Garrett, phenomenal lyricist. And I know a lot of people say that, but like, he's one of those guys, man, where I literally, I'm not even joking you. Like, I'll write lyrics and I'll be like, I could write this better, because I know that there's guys like Garrett out there, you know? So I think Silent Planet is fantastic.
I think they're S tier. If they're the best metalcore band of the last decade, oof. Don't know about that, but I think in terms of every member brings so much to the table. I think Mitch, the guitarist, is like one of the most underrated guitarists because the way that he writes too is like not as show-offy, but he tends to write riffs that just work alongside the music. Like he makes like cool passages. It's hard to explain, but like it's super weird where other guitarists are just like one part sounds cool and then they go into a next part kind of thing. Also, they write albums. That's another thing. I feel like they write good albums. Like they have good flow. They have a cool tone. There's enough variety. They're a very album band, which sets them apart as well. But then like another band that's been making waves is Loathe. Last decade, I don't know about last decade, but their new album I think is a huge step in the right direction for the core scene. North Lane Alien was also a big change that influenced a lot of other bands. So it kind of like depends on your taste, but for me personally, Spiritbox is definitely S tier. I think they are absolutely incredible.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think Silent Planet is awesome. I love them.
Yeah. Who doesn't like Silent Planet? You can get out of here.
What idiot in the chat hates them?
I'm not going to say that. I'm not a dick.
President Nathan. Yeah, okay. You don't like him?
Oh, Nathan, you don't like them, man? I'm shocked. All right.
Grim Grin doesn't like him either. Okay. All right,
well. I'm shocked. I like these guys' taste. I didn't know that we disagreed on that. All right, let's move on to Unpopular Opinion 9. Oh, we got another one from this dude. Xanthus says, hot take. Alex Terrible and Dickie Aleen are really good at one thing and mediocre at the rest. I don't think. Well, you're good at that one thing. That's what matters. Like, how are they bad at anything else? Like, they're vocalists. They're not guitarists. They're not drummers. They're one thing. I think they're standouts. And I would argue that Alex Terrible is even better at another thing, which is like, his YouTube profile. He is very active with his YouTube. It's how he got famous. I think he's a very strong YouTube personality. Even in his music videos, he presents himself as a star. That's another thing. People don't really take that into consideration. Everyone's just like, oh, who's got the most brutal vocals? Who can do the breeze and stuff? Like, there's more to it than that. It's about like your stage presence and how you are online. There's a whole brand that you're kind of selling. And I think Alex Terrible fucking crushes it with that. I think he is, no wonder he's so huge in the deathcore scene. It's not just his vocals, it's him too. Right. Dickie Aleen, like, he has a busy Twitch channel too. Like, the guy's working on Twitch. But if his one thing is doing deathcore vocals, he's fucking amazing at it. I think he does also TV. Don't quote me. I heard somewhere he might do like TV show stuff or I don't know, because he has a very like animated voice. I could be completely wrong here, so don't quote me. But I feel like I've heard that. But if he also does tap into that as well, then there you go. He's good at another thing. He can do like voiceovers.
Yeah, and see, the problem that I have with this hot take is one, I feel like Alex really did showcase even more vocal versatility on Costalum. I thought Costalum was a fantastic album, by the way. Mm-hmm. I'm not too. Yeah, no, it was, and I'm not super familiar with a lot of Dickie Allen's work, but I will say this: you have to keep in mind when it comes to vocals that you have to keep in mind what the song calls for. And especially in the genre that these guys are in, especially more so Dickie Aleen, because like I said, Alex, I think, showed more versatility with Costalum, but with Dickie Aleen, the music is all kind of in a similar realm. So, but I feel like from knowing what I do know about Dickie is that he is the type of guy that I think that he could, do whatever you asked for him if it made sense for the song. But like, you're not going to do something that doesn't make sense for the song just to show that you can do it, because then the song gets messed up. So that's my problem with that, is that you have to keep in mind what the song you're listening to is calling for, rather than just, just like putting like an array of different vocal sounds on a track for the sake of doing it.
Oh, 100%. I totally agree with that. They're both top tier vocalists, and for good reason too, right?
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
All right. I think we got 5 more, so
let's do it.
Unpopular opinion number 10. I think we kind of touched on this. Laros, the homeboy Laros says breakdowns are overrated, especially if they are cliche, slowed down, and drawn out. Come at me, bros.
Breakdowns are the best fucking part of a song, man. I mean, come on, dude. The slower it gets, like, especially when you can feel that tempo change, you're like, ugh. You know, I that for me anyway, that's what happens. So I'm curious, like, what do you? So then, if you think breakdowns are overrated, like, what do you listen to? Do you just listen to notes? I mean, I don't know.
This guy's a big prog head. He loves prog.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that explains it. Well,
there's breakdowns in prog, dude. You'd be shocked.
Yeah, like, there's me having a mental breakdown listening to it. So I would respectfully disagree with Mr. Laros here on this. I think breakdowns are phenomenal. Like I love breakdowns.
So I would actually kind of agree with him.
Oh my god.
Breakdowns definitely can be the best part of the song for sure, but they can also be the weakest. It depends on how good the breakdown is. And sometimes they're so overused. Some bands just like abuse them and they're predictable. It's like, oh, a bridge is coming. Let's throw in a breakdown. Let's throw a build up. And then like, let's call out the song name. And then boom, done. But then there's no denying a breakdown is just fun. Like that's pretty much the main part of core music is breakdowns. And they're fucking sick for sure. But bands definitely do overuse them. Like, for example, like old Veil of Maya. I think new Veil of Maya has gone a lot better at it, but old Veil of Maya, like just as good as the new stuff, but holy shit, did they abuse breakdowns. There'd be like one part coming and it's just like, okay, instead of this part, let's just move on to like this cool breakdown rhythm. It just seems lazy in comparison to everything else that they were doing in that song. But yeah, so like, that's what I mean. Some breakdowns can definitely be overused, but overrated. Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of the appeal of core music, right?
Yeah, we'll see. Like Crash Boys in the chat, he says it depends on the band. Exactly. A lot of bands suck. I mean, that's part of it too. Is that a lot of bands just aren't good, and then they can kind of make the breakdowns, you know, kind of overrated because they're just not good songwriters, and so that's part of it as well.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it really depends on the band.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to unpopular opinion number 11. Oh, this is from the homeboy Don of DT. So, hot ass take. Eddie Pickard is top 3 deathcore guitarist. So, Eddie Pickard is the Infant Annihilator guitarist. And I could be Black Tongue. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have no idea who this guy is.
Yeah, okay. So, it's not... yeah. When I'm looking for hot takes, I need the big bands. I need the ones that people know. So yeah, Eddie Pickard, he's the Infant Annihilator guitarist. If he's the best in deathcore, that is a valid argument, I think, because Infant Annihilator has some insane guitar work, and I'm trying to think of other bands. Enterprise Earth is pretty good. They got some cool riffs. They got some good solos. And Lorna Shore, Adam is a beast on guitar as well. He has some phenomenal guitar work. His solos are super intricate too. But it's a little bit more like what you expect. And I feel like Infant Annihilator does some weird things on guitar that kind of sets them apart. They have some really stupid fast breakdown rhythms, and then they got these crazy sweeps and solos. Orion reacts! Thank you, bro. Bled for the fella. So, you know, I'm trying to think. I don't think anyone tops Eddie in my opinion right now. What's another band?
Yeah, well, one, if he's an Infant Annihilator, let's play the music live, okay? Let's see if you can actually play this stuff live.
Yeah.
If he's in Black Tongue, let's hit a note once every 3 minutes instead of every 5 minutes, okay? Black Tongue is so goddamn slow. I wanted to bash my head off of a wall listening to them.
Dude, I know I can't listen to Black Tongue, even though I do appreciate their music. I think it's cool, but I've said it in my reviews. I'm like, this is a band not for me. It's too slow and down tempo.
So slow.
Hold up. Who Crash Boy says Thy Art guitar work there is amazing. That is a good point. Thy Art has great guitar work. Oh, I just realized that. Butcher Knife 92. Thank you for subscribing, man. Yeah, Thy Art. I forget the guitarist's name. He's really good as well. But those riffs are a little bit more. I don't want to use the word generic, but I can't think of anything else. They seem very death metal-y, some of the riffs, but then the solos comes and the solos are really good. Like I've learned Thy Art, Reign of Darkness on guitar, and it's tough, especially the solo part. I think Eddie kind of beats him still. I think Eddie's very good. That's actually a good hot take. Yo, Richard's about to make me swing on him.
Bring it, boy.
All right. Let's move on to, which one did we just do? 11? Unpopular opinion 11? Unpopular opinion 11, maybe. Yeah, we just did that one. Unpopular opinion number 12. Slightly sloppy. Oh, okay, this is a good one. Danny boy.
Okay. I know Evie. Okay, he's in my Discord too, so I might lose a member.
He's a legend.
Yes.
Slipknot's influence is better than their actual music. Yeah. I'm gonna let you talk about this one.
Slipknot's influence is better than their actual music. That is a very interesting take.
I know. This was when I saw this. I'm like, damn. I want to make a just talking about this.
Yeah, this could be that very well could be true, because I think the common misconception with Slipknot is that they're like a nu metal band when they have a lot of like death metal aspects overall. And I think Slipknot is very well known for like the hits. But like track 7 off of the second album or whatever, you don't really know that. You know, like the big tracks like Wait and Bleed or I can't even think of any of the other songs. So that says a lot. But no, they're very influential though. So I actually probably would agree with this. Just in terms of, because the Slipknot brand way more than probably their actual music. Like if you were to poll people, like if you walked up to people on the street and you were like, "Hey, have you heard of Slipknot?" They'd probably say yes, and you say name a song. Then a lot more people would have struggled to name a song.
Oh, that's perfect right there. What you just said.
Yeah.
No, that is the perfect way of describing it, because you're so accurate. I totally agree with this. And when I thought about it, I'm like, Slipknot's music is pretty good. But it's funny because,
it is good.
Dude, so many people are shocked that some of the bands I never really listened to, Slipknot. I never even listened to Linkin Park Hybrid Theory, which people were shocked by. It's because I skipped over all those big bands because they never appealed to me. I got into like metal through some of the more niche bands, and then going back into like the bigger bands, there was just more mass appeal. There was a little bit less interesting ideas because it felt a little bit more generic, lack of a better word. Well, kind of generic a little bit. Well, I wouldn't say Slipknot's music is, but I went through the whole Iowa album, and that shit is still fucking good to this day. Like I was super impressed with it. But do I think it's like the best music ever? Like, no, I definitely not. I think they're really good, and I think they're probably the most important band next to Metallica to get people into metal. They're like gateway band, and for that they're so important. But the music itself, it's like once you get into those bands, and then you start tapping into other bands, and you're like, holy shit, this sounds sick. But then people still hold on to that nostalgia factor, and I'm guilty of that with some of my bands that I like. But nostalgia plays a huge role in forming people's opinions. But as someone who's getting to Slipknot now and then listening to other metal, I feel like other metal is a lot more interesting than Slipknot. But so that's for their music, and their influence is way more massive. Like, yeah, you said it best. You go ask someone if they know Slipknot, and they know the name a song. They probably won't, because they don't know the music as well as the name. Their influence, their marketing, and everything is top tier.
Exactly. It's the brand.
Yeah. Dan, that is a good one.
That was a good one.
Okay.
Well, again, Slipknot is no whore crusher, so we got to keep that in mind.
Whore crusher. What was the other one? Yeah.
Ironic or whatever the hell it was. I don't even know.
Death metal band names are crazy. All right. Unpopular opinion 13. Okay, this is a perfect one for us, and I think Orion's in
All
here
right.
too, so this is a good chat for us. Sam says most YouTube reactors react to videos for views and ad revenue. Wrong about the ad revenue. I read that. I'm just like, gotta teach you some things. Even though Sam does react to music, so I was shocked by that. But anyway, not because they actually find interest in the content they are reacting to. So they react to videos for views and ad revenue. So
well, I'll tell you right now, ad revenue. Listen, if I could get the ad revenue off of these videos,
yeah.
I mean, listen, I'd be living mighty large right about now. Definitely not for the ad revenue, considering that like 9.9 out of every 10 videos gets copyright
Why
claim.
do we plug our Patreon so much, right?
Exactly. Patreon.com/RichardJames. Patreon.com/metalbirb. And yeah, we do react to certain bands because they do get more views than others. I mean, that's just, I mean, we're gonna use our time to get it to do a video. We're not gonna do it on Whore Crusher, you know. I mean, let's be honest here.
No, it's 100% true, and like I think it's important to have the balance where you react to some of the bigger bands. Also, like, well, you react to the big bands and the small bands, but it's not just YouTube metal reactors that do this. It's any form of content creator. For example, like video games or something. Some video game channel will talk about the big popular video games because that's what's in, instead of talking about these niche more kind of games. Because even though they might like those niche games more, but it's not going to do well in views because of just popularity. And that's the same thing about metal reaction channels. So I do think that there's definitely genuine reaction channels, and I think you got to be one of those people that can just smell bullshit, and I think most of us do. I feel like everyone that watches my channel can smell bullshit, and that's why they kind of watch me, because I don't bullshit my videos. They can tell when I'm reacting to a bigger band. They can probably assume it's for more views, because if I react to just small niche underground bands, no one would fucking know me. No one would watch me. No one would give a shit. But if I keep reacting to, I don't know, some of the bigger bands and then also feature smaller bands on the side, so the subscribers that have subscribed to me when they watch like Ice Nine Kills something because they do better for views, and then they go watch my next video, which is a more underground band, and then they find a new band, boom. That's what makes me so happy. I love showing music, and that's like kind of why I started my channel. I was always showing music to my buddies, like, and my family and stuff. Like, I was so annoying for them, like, check out this song, and now that's what I do. And to get to that, you need to kind of feature big bands that could put your name out there. Some people though abuse the shit out of it though, and we know some channels that the Nightwish reaction channels, the ones that are the Tool reaction channels, the ones that people, the crazy fan bases, baby metal. The thing is, people stick to reacting to those and they grow fast. Their subscribers grow huge, right? But then they start reacting to other bands.
No one watches anything.
No one watches them, dude. Holy shit. And then they get shocked. I'm like, well, dude, like, the thing is about those fan bases for, Tool, baby metal and stuff, they don't give a shit about other bands. They
think they're married to Maynard. I mean, they think that they're his friend, like, but and they're not.
I had to stop reacting to baby metal because I would start doing other bands, and then baby metal fans would be like, "Oh, you got to check out Baby Metal Road of Resistance live at blah 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 blah." I'm like, dude, just comment on the song. Like, comment, did you like this song? Quit requesting more baby metal. So I had to stop doing that because the comments were getting too spammy. I'm like, no, I want you guys to listen to new music. I don't want to be just a baby metal channel or a ginger channel or whatever. And there's definitely some channels that definitely do that. Not going to drop names. I feel like most of us probably know that, but for our channels that kind of do a good balance, like me and you, we're in the same vein. Orion Reacts here, Sign Apple as well, Hardcore Keem, of course. Hardcore Keem is the legend for underground bands. I think he is the number one guy for doing he's like the real OG. He's the real deal. And Rachel Reacts. That's another one. Galactic Criminal. Galactic Criminal is also like
that dude sends me more bands that I've never heard of than anybody I know. Like, you got to react to this. I don't even know who this band is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But do we make ad revenue? God, no, we don't make.
Yeah, do we make ad revenue? Unbelievable. I mean, listen, I would have many more fancy lights like METALBIRB if I had ad revenue. You know, it's just the way it goes.
Yeah, I invested in my lights, man. It's also making me so hot.
I know.
I'm like in a sauna all the time, but doesn't it look so cool?
It does look so. You leave and you have like a tan.
I'm like tanning and literally reacting to music. All right. Good chat. Good chat. We got, I think, one more. So we're already kind of going past the time limit, dude. Hopefully,
it's okay. It's okay.
All right. So let's finish off strong with Unpopular Opinion 14.
I was waiting for one of these to be about a mirror because I was about to throw down.
No one likes a mirror, dude.
That's disrespect. Very disrespect.
I'm joking, man. I'm joking. Okay, so Matt. So this one, he says Tom Barber is still the best Lorna Shore vocalist, Will Ramos included. So Tom Barber's the best.
So here's the thing, right? It's like when I think of who's the best Lorna Shore vocalist, number one, I will say that Lorna Shore's music, I appreciate, not my thing. I appreciate it, but it's not my thing. Again, I think it just kind of goes back to what fits the song best. I think that Will's vocals combined with the music that they're putting out now, lands them on a Bring Me the Horizon tour. So, I think that Tom really fits well with what he's doing now. And I think that for the ability to go viral, I think that Will probably has that a little bit more than Tom.
Yeah, honestly, I never really listened to old Lorna Shore too much. Other than
me neither. Let's be honest. Yeah.
But I do think Tom. Honestly, I'm going to say that Tom, I think, is a more interesting vocalist than Will at the moment because of what he's doing in Darko. I think his vocal styles are much more varied. Will is crazy talented. That dude, it became like a celebrity overnight. Like, I know he was in Awakened Providence, I think, that band. But, ever since he joined Lorna Shore, everyone's like, Will Ramos. The internet's going crazy. And obviously with what he did onto the Hellfire blew everyone's mind. But Infant Annihilator already did those kind of pig sounds with Blasphemian, right? But I think just Tom, with New Chelsea Grin and especially Darko, some of his vocal styles where he's doing more like throaty sounds and distorted sounds and like even doing like kind of like voices and not just, lows and highs.
Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt you, but yeah, that's the one thing I will say about Tom is that like he does like characters when he's doing vocals versus like maximizing low and high. And I'm not saying that Will doesn't do that, but I did have a vocal lesson with Tom once, so maybe I should pick him.
Oh, really? Eh?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah,
seems like a cool guy. But yeah, all right. I guess that is all for the opinions.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, you want to stick around and just hang out?
I should probably go, just to get to sleep. But I will say that I would love to do this again, and I want people to flood it with Amir opinions because if you really want to see me get hot, like I turn into one of those Nightwish people when it comes to Amir. Like I'll send you a paragraph. Like I could be like in traffic driving on the highway going 80 miles an hour, and I will risk my life to respond to you if you so. God damn it! You hinder the Amir name. Like I will come after you.
So do that. Comment Amir opinions, and then also do protest the hero, refuse thrice. The thing is, no one has any opinions because no one listens to those bands anymore. Because I'm a fucking boomer.
I'll be honest. I do like me some protest the hero. I'll be totally honest. I love protest the hero.
Old protest is
Sequoia Throne, baby. That's where it's at.
Blood meat all day. Blindfolds aside.
All
right, guys, that was a great stream. Thank you for tuning in. I'm probably going to put this on YouTube for anyone that's watched it. Maybe the VOD's going to be there. But Rich, man, thank you for sticking around. We got to do something else in this.
Oh, you're going to put this on YouTube? Listen, I just want to say that all these opinions here were for entertainment purposes only. You're all very talented, whoever I made fun of. I know I made fun of Tim Henson as the Muppets guy. So I don't mean that. I think Tim's a very talented guy. So
he's going to lose so much sleep over what you said, man.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I do have pretty convincing opinions, so his career could be over after this.
All right, guys. Have a good night, eh? Peace.